Don't use junk gauze, because if it's junk and it frays on you, yeah. And so when you got a small kid's hand, basically you want to start with making layers. Okay? So what I try to do is make about layers between 15 to 20 times back and forth over the knuckles and palm. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're going to stop at 15 on this one. Okay, so once I get to 15, then I cut it. Okay, then I slide this off of it. Yeah, try to make it as neat as possible so it doesn't fall apart. And basically, this is the padding for the knuckles. Okay, I fold the padding in half and place it right over the knuckle portion of the hand. Okay, where where it's gonna make the most contact when he's got his hands in the glove. Then take the gauze that I had just cut that padding from. Okay, now it's always important that when you start it off, always go toward the big knuckle or the thumb side first. Okay, so go around, make the boxer help you out by placing his fingers and holding it in place. Once I got it, I can tell him to let go, and I cover it over it again. Okay, so after about the second time around, what I do is I twist the gauze and come under, and that way it kind of locks right around the edges, so when you come back over the top, yeah, it helps to underneath on the palm side of the hand. Okay, so now this is like about the third pass or the fourth pass I come through. So once I got the knuckle through, now going toward the thumb. Yeah, I wrap completely around the thumb and then go toward the wrist. Okay? And usually, okay, there's no really a set number, but it's usually around 4 times that I go around the wrist. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. And all depends on the size of the hand. Sometimes I may go more than 3 or 4 times, depending on the kind of wrap that I have and stuff. But 3 or 4 times is about right. Then I go back around the thumb again. Okay, completely around the thumb, back around the wrist again, maybe 1 or 2 more times. Okay, then I'm going back toward the knuckle. Now when I go back toward the knuckle, same thing, over the big knuckle side or the thumb side of the hand, pinch it, twist it, come around. Okay, just locks the gauze in place around the knuckles. Okay, and this is the second time I'm going around. Now this time, when I go back around toward the thumb, right? I'm going toward the thumb. Now I want to weave between the fingers on the next pass. Okay, so instead of like the way I normally do is wrap around the thumb and go back this way around the wrist. Okay, when I want to start weaving between the fingers, I wrap only halfway around the thumb and then I go across the back of the hand. See, across the back of the hand, around the wrist, and now I'm going to come and weave between fingers. When I come between the fingers, I'm going to go pinky finger first, always. Okay, wrap around the pinky fingers. I'm going to tell the boxer to close his fist. Okay, and I'm going to spread the gauze around the corner of his baby knuckle, the little knuckle. Okay, keep it in place. Sometimes what I do is I'll tuck in one side of the gauze, depending on the smaller the hands. See, the smaller hands, I tuck in the part of the gauze, then I continue to wrap around the wrist completely one time, Now when I come across, I'm going to go between the first finger, the index finger, the first knuckle, make him close his fist, and I'll spread the gauze around the big knuckle now. Like you see, notice I tuck it in again. Okay, wrap around the wrist. Now I'll come through the middle finger. As I come through the middle finger, right, I'll have him turn his hand around. And this is kind of a tricky part. I pull up some space with the gauze here. I will, because my goal is to tuck it inside the gauze, right inside the palm. I'll tuck one end in, make a loop, pull it out. See? Then I'll put the rest of the roll through the loop, hanging onto one end so that it'll be a tight knot, and then I pull it tight. Okay, see, this is how it bunches these underneath the hand, make it thinner. Right? I'll have the boxers turn his hand around and go back up through the middle of his the middle knuckle, between the middle knuckle and middle fingers. Now when I do this, okay, I make sure that I go back to the pinky side of the hand, not the thumb side of the hand, yeah? Pinky side of the hand, and then I'll wrap around. Okay, I'm gonna spread. Did it go back?
Yeah.
Okay. That way, when I go back to the pinky side of the hand, as I come back across the knuckle now for the final touches, you notice I'm on the pinky side of the knuckle, yeah? Have him open it up his hands. Now this time when I pinch the gauze underneath, I pinch it around his baby knuckle, okay? The smaller knuckle, not the big one. The first pass, I went around the big knuckle. On the second pass, I go around the smaller knuckle. See? And we're just about done now. I'm gonna wrap around the knuckle, back over to the wrist, and finish up. Okay? I wanna make it snug and firm, but not so tight that I cut off the circulation. And for a kid his size, you don't need to use the whole roll, right? So I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna tell him to hold right there. Get the 1-inch size tape, right? And tape it completely around. Move your other hand. Yeah, there you go. Around his wrist. I do that about 3 to 4 times. Yeah. You can hold your hand now, right? Okay. Yeah. You can't be stingy with your gauze and your tape, yeah, especially your tape. So, smaller nylon tape. Yeah, the 1-inch nylon tape, and I'll rip it in half. In this case, a little bit more than half, but this way, this nylon tape is really easy to tear, and it's thin enough that it can go between the fingers. That's why I use this nylon tape. Cut it about the size of his hand, and I'll do 3 of them to go between each of his 4 fingers. Okay. Then I have him turn his hand over. And then at this point, it doesn't matter which finger you start with. Okay, I'm going to start with the pinky side. Tuck one end of the tape inside the wrap, the sticky end facing the underside of the wrap, so it hooks on. So when you pull it, it'll grab it. Yeah, go between his fingers, have him make a fist, hold it tight, and then try to find that groove between the knuckles toward his wrist. Yeah, and that's it. Rip the excess length, grab the other tape, and I'll do the other finger right between his pointer finger or his index finger. Now, this is the part, right? You want to make the wrapping look nice. So what I do is I'll angle the tape right here on the underside. Okay. Part of this tape I'm going to tuck in under the gauze. You see, so it's nice and tucked in under the gauze. Have him turn around, make a fist, and as I slowly put that tape on the back of his hand, Yeah, I really do this part in the beginning. I do it really slowly. I want to make sure that it's not crinkled, messed up. Yeah, the tape is nicely placed on there, on his wrist and slightly back of his hand. Okay, what you want to make sure too, one of those, the rules state that you cannot have tape on the knuckle portion of his fist, right? So always about approximately 1 inch behind his knuckle. That's what the rule states. Okay, so I got one side. I'll put the tape on the other side. Same thing. I tuck it in. And on the side, I got a tape in. Have him turn over, make a fist. Tape it completely around his wrist and down toward his knuckle. And I cut it off. Yeah, this right. I'm gonna put the tape completely on the underside of his wrapped hand, gauze hand. I tuck one end or one half of the tape underneath the gauze, so you see it's all completely, the gauze is completely covered with the tape. Okay, have him turn around. Now this one, I'm going to tell him make a fist, squeeze hard, and I'm going to make sure that the tape is behind his knuckle. Okay, not on the knuckle, because the rule states that you can't have any tape on the striking surface of the wrapped hand. Okay. And there it is. Okay, so you know this is a wrap where he's got the padding on his knuckles, so make a fist, right? He can punch, the knuckles is protected. The tape really secures everything, all the gauze, and there's nothing, no fray. Fray meaning, you know, all the torn up edges of the gauze. Yeah, everything is nice. How does that feel for you?
Good.
Feel good? Feel like you're gonna knock the guy out? All right. The reason you're gonna knock the guy out is because I wrapped it awesome.